hari ini quite plenty of us today, 70, and I believe it keeps on adding, yeah, which is great. Dan happy June, yeah. Tanpa terasa already halfway to go this year, and welcome to CFJ Bible Study with me, Roy. And I know hopefully most of you have seen me or heard me, but yeah, today we are meeting again in a very, very unique situation, very unpredictable. I believe in the beginning of the year, no one would have ever thought of it. So, but here we are. And I remember, I don't know in Indonesia kapan, but in Australia they began the whole lockdown thing in mid-March, yeah, mid-March. Dan I didn't know it was that serious back then. I remember I still had dinner at one of my friend's house, and suddenly everyone was just bombarding our group messages saying that today is our last gathering day for all of us, because from tomorrow, back in the mid-March, first thing on Monday, it will be only 2 people maximum allowed. So yeah, but now Australia, after 2 months or something, Australia sih keren sekali ya, very very amazing. I think they have one of the best follow-up action. I think that's how you say it. Mereka punya tindakan very very great, and their healthcare system is really good. So now it's been a long time since we have more than 10 cases each day. Dan practically for me, I think Australia udah aman, tapi the government is really really strict about it. So until now masih strict, people still very cautious, dan yeah, bus still quiet, school masih belum, well, a lot of school masih online, and yeah, and I don't know about you, CFJ, but it also affects my community, the way we interact with each other in KPA. So we've been going online since mid-March, and we're gonna keep going to do this until July, yeah, end of July. So yeah, I believe with this Corona thingy, there are so many lessons yang kita pelajari. Yeah, if I ask each and every one of you, what kind of lesson have you learned from this whole pandemic? I believe there's many of it, and banyak lah. Never take things for granted. That's one thing, one of the earliest thing I learned. And then I also learned that human is very creative people. Human is a very creative being. Human is very adaptive, and I think our adaptability skill is really really improved here, and many others. One of the other lessons that I found in this pandemic was that it actually doesn't take much for us to just to live. It doesn't take much. We used to be surrounded with so many things, dengan so many necessities. Kita perlu ke pijat, nonton, movie, cinema, going outing, like so many needs. But actually, we human, we only need some basic things to survive, and it doesn't take much to get happy. Well, at least in my case. So yeah, a lot of lesson. But the most important lesson, I think, is what we are going to talk about tonight. Jadi tema malam ini, tonight's theme is called breakthrough. Yeah, breakthrough. And it is started as my own personal goal. Jadi back in January, when I took my own self-reflection time, thinking about what can I do this year, my personal goal was to have a personal breakthrough in my life. And the theme got bigger and bigger. I actually made it into our community's goal. So KPA's goal this year is breakthrough. And well, actually it's a bit longer than that, but yeah, I'm just gonna cut it short. It's breakthrough. that was back in January when things are still normal and just nothing much happened except Kobe Bryant passed away, and that was, I think, the biggest news back then. Back then everyone knew what happened. 2 months, 3 months entering the year, the corona started to happen globally. It was declared as a global pandemic, and every country just got shut down, and the rest. Yeah. So, and it's very funny because during this situation, I actually think it's the best time, it's the perfect setup for us to have a breakthrough. I never thought that when I had this goal, when I set this goal, I never thought that this whole thing will happen. And now that it happened, actually, kalau kita pikir, if we think about it, it is the perfect setting for a breakthrough to happen. Because out of crisis, opportunity comes. Dan di balik krisis, ada kesempatan. And yeah, I don't know about you guys. Definitely, one of the side effects about this whole thing is the mental health part. I don't know about you guys, but I believe some of the most stressed people during this time are the ones who got their loved one pass away. Like the funeral thingy. Aku rasa, well, a lot of my friends' wedding got cancelled, postponed until next year. But I think that was okay. But I think the greater grief comes from someone who passed away, and their family cannot, nggak bisa pemakaman, funeral as normal. And I think I don't know about you guys, but in my family, well, praise the Lord, everyone was healthy. My father, my mother, they were healthy. But some of my friends, I know that they got their long distance family, their cousin or their auntie or grandmother, grandfather passed away during this corona pandemic, and they can't go anywhere. They can't go visit because of the whole thing. Yeah. So the mental health becomes a really big issue. And I think it is very important to always check ourselves and always go back to Jesus, go back to God, to make sure that we are on track and that we are stay not only safe physically and health wise, but also stay safe and on track spiritual wise, if you know what I mean. Jadi I think the reason why it's very important, because I had this one friend of mine. He got a very, very bad situation back in April. So he worked as a chef, yeah, and he was collecting money, Indonesianya kumpulin modal, before he goes back to Indo for good. It was planned back early next year. So he was planning to go back for good next year, not this year, because he's a huge chef in one of the most prominent restaurants in Sydney, and he got a good salary. Everything was on track. He was still young, and he got all his plans underway, and things looking good. But then this corona happened, and his restaurant was one of the first one closed, and he got laid off. And suddenly in Australia, the government gave us this support called job seeker or job keeper fund. But since he's not a PR, he's only he's holding a temporary visa, you know what I mean? So he cannot get any of those support. So basically he has to live with his own savings to make ends meet. And it becomes very tricky for him, and he has to pay for everything. He doesn't rely to his parent. He already became independent for a long time. And then things got worse, and he has to change his whole plan, and now he's going back for good, like 2 months ago. During our last night, he came to my house. I asked him to come for dinner, and one of the words that he told to me was that he told me he need a breakthrough. Yeah, he need a breakthrough, and I believe that is what we all need. I don't know about you, but I need a breakthrough. I could use some breakthrough. And what is breakthrough really is all about? Well, breakthrough, according to the dictionary, is defined as a sudden, tiba-tiba, permanent, important, penting, change of event. Jadi, that is how dictionary defines breakthrough. A sudden, permanent, important, dramatic, if I say, change of event or development. Jadi breakthrough itu, it's something that is out of prediction. It's permanent, means once you're having it, you can never go back the same way you were again. Jadi breakthrough itu is something that changed our life significantly and for the better, not for the worst. That is why it's called breakthrough, not setbacks or breakdown, not breakup, but breakthrough. So it is positive, it is encouraging, it is, significant, and I believe everyone can have one or two or more breakthroughs in their life. The thing about breakthrough is, though, however, you cannot create breakthrough. Jadi breakthrough itu tidak diciptakan. You don't buy breakthrough, yeah. You don't go to the store and then you ask, can I have a breakthrough? No, you don't. And you cannot create it. You cannot make it. You cannot plant it. Jadi breakthrough itu nggak bisa direncanakan. Breakthrough itu nggak bisa di plan. Like you cannot tell today I'm gonna have my breakthrough, or tomorrow I'm gonna have my breakthrough. No, you can't. Tetapi the truth of the matter is, breakthrough happens everywhere. Science has breakthrough. Waktu back in the days when polio, that disease polio was found, people struggled, and then they found a vaccine. So there was a breakthrough in science. Until later on, when we find a vaccine for this coronavirus, that will be a breakthrough in medical and in science world, right? Political country can have breakthrough. When Indonesia declare its Independence Day, we have breakthrough. When, I believe people in America right now, I think they are on the verge of having breakthrough, possibly, you never know. But yeah, I mean, we are surrounded by breakthroughs. But the truth of the matter is, no one can plan it. No one knows when it will happen exactly, and no one knows when or where or how. You know what I mean? But we need it. So here's the good thing. I think everyone needs breakthrough. So in order for you to be able to understand the material tonight, not only understand, but also live it out and make it happen, I think the first question that I will throw to all of you now, I don't know how many of you right now, I think to all 78 of you, do you want breakthrough or not? Kamu mau nggak ada breakthrough? Do you want it or not? Because if you want it, you have to really want it. Everyone can use a breakthrough in their life. Maybe ada orang yang, maybe some of you needs breakthrough in their relationship. You know, maybe ada orang yang udah married for a couple of years, or maybe udah been a couple for a couple of years, and now suddenly the relationship becomes cold and distant away, and you don't know what's wrong. You try your best, but things are getting colder and colder. Maybe you need a breakthrough in your relationship. Maybe you need a breakthrough with your family. You need some healing or some changing with your family, with your father, with your mother. Or maybe someone need a breakthrough with their health, because their body just continue to let them down. Baru umur 30 tapi lari aja sulit. Baru umur 30 tapi the cholesterol, the uric acid and everything udah merah semua, udah top of the line, and we need breakthrough. Maybe some of us need breakthrough in career wise. Maybe some of you don't want to be defined by your parents or by your family. You want to be defined by your own achievement and your own hard work. You need a breakthrough in your career, maybe. Or maybe some of you need a breakthrough in financial. You never know. But I wonder how many of us thinking right now that all I need is a breakthrough in my relationship with God. All I need is a breakthrough in the way I know God. All I need is a breakthrough in the way I serve Jesus, in the way I follow Jesus. Maybe some of you already, I don't know the English, tapi kalau Indonesianya bilang tawar hati. What is tawar hati means? I don't know. Maybe some of you are already tired, because you've been serving God for so long, and maybe some of you already, feel like this is the end of your chapter, and you are ready to open a new one, and you think that you won't be able to serve Jesus like you do it right now. Maybe you need a breakthrough, So while you are taking this material, while I speak, think about that. Think about the way all the sort of things that you need a breakthrough in your life, and you have to really want it. If you don't want it, if you don't need it, then that's fine. But only if you really want it, then something can happen. Something magical can happen. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna begin my material by starting this. Why is it important to have breakthrough? We can't create it, we can't buy it, we can't plan it, but why is it important to have it? Because our God Himself is the God of breakthrough. Allah kita adalah Allah yang breaking through. He is the God of breakthrough. Every teaching in the Bible, everything that we've been told to be, it is being told because God has done it firstly. If we are asked to become holy, because God is holy at the first place. Kalau Tuhan minta kita setia, to be faithful, because He is faithful. So there is nothing that we are asked to do by God, Dia sendiri nggak bisa lakukan. All the things that we are asked to do, because God udah lakukan. So if we are being taught about breakthrough, about having breakthrough, it's because ini bukan just a beautiful theory or just a beautiful word. It is real. It can happen. It will happen. Karena Allah kita, our own God, is the God of breakthrough. Dia yang menciptakan itu. So, we can't create breakthrough, but God can. He is the one who make it all happen. You got it? Yeah. So my first point will be that our God is the God of breakthrough. Mari kita buka. Let's open. Second Chronicles. Yeah. I would rather my note. Hold on. Let me just get away first from here. I'm gonna turn my video back again. Okay. Hold on. Just bear with me. Mari kita buka. Let's open 2 Tawarikh ya. 1 Tawarikh. First Chronicle 4. 1 Tawarikh 4. 8 sampai 11 ya. 1 Tawarikh 4. 8 sampai 11. Okay, 1 Tawarikh 4. 11. You're gonna kill me right now, okay? 1 Tawarikh 14. Ya. 8 sampai 11. Ya. First Chronicle. I know there are some English speaking, like complete English, no Indo at all. So if someone of you can help in the chat box, translating all the Bible verse that we are reading right now, jadi mereka bisa, they can follow us. Alright, 1 Tawarikh 4, 8 sampai 11 ya. Alright, aku minta Kelvin baca dong, Kel, Indonesianya, ya. Kel, 2, 3.
Sorry, my Bible is in English. Do you mind?
Don't mind. Yeah, go.
Okay. When the Philistines had heard that David was anointed king over all Israel, they marched out in force looking for him. But when David heard of this, he went out against them. Meanwhile, the Philistines had come and raided the valley of Rephaim. David inquired of God, "Shall I attack the Philistines, and will you deliver them into my power?" The Lord answered him, "Attack, for I have delivered them into your power." So they attacked at Baal-perazim, and David defeated them there. Then David said, "By my hand God has broken through my enemies, just as water breaks through a dam." Therefore, that place was called Baal-perazim.
Okay, thank you. It's beautiful translation, by the way. All right, jadi let's read it verse by verse ya. Lihat ayat 8. Verse 8. Ketika orang Filistin dengar bahwa Daud diurapi, David was being anointed menjadi raja atas seluruh Israel, then kalau Inggrisnya bilang they come to attack him, whatever. Tapi Indonesianya bilang, majulah semua orang Filistin menangkap Daud. Jadi bukan cuma rajanya, bukan cuma not only 1 or 2 people, but all Philistines come marching to get David. Nah, kenapa ini? Why this happen? Kalau Anda lihat, ya, maka this happened right after Saul already passed away. Yeah, he's already dead, and David was anointed to replace him. Now, why does this really bother Philistine? Because remember, when Saul was still a king, remember Saul was catching David from one corner to the other. They like playing hide and seek, like catch me if you can kind of thing, because Saul really wants to kill David, but David keeps running away from Saul. And this is a little of biblical knowledge. And if you learn all the places where David went, most of those places are sitting right in the corner perbatasan Israel. So it's like in the corner of Israel, not in the center, but in the corner of Israel. That is the place where all of farmers lived. And Israel back then, if you know Israel, it's not a big country. It's like a small country, and their majority of income comes from farming. So the main economical strength income of Israelites back then came from all the farmers who lived on the perbatasan, and the corner of Israel, near the enemies, Jadi, and that is how the enemy tried to attack the Israel, because they think by attacking the farmer, they kill the economy, and if they kill the economy, then they will weaken the Israel army, and they think they will have a better chance of winning. But during those times, David was running away from Saul, and he was living from little town to another little town, from one farmer to another. And while he was running away from Saul, he was protecting all the villagers from the enemy attacks, And back then, David was not a king. He was a refugee. He was the most wanted man. Everyone was looking for him. And the people who follow him, they are just, first, there are not many. And the people who follow him are not smart people. If you read another passage in the Bible, it says that orang yang ikut Daud, people who follow David, itu mantan narapidana, ex-con, orang susah, poor people, like not a very top on the list kind of people, if you know what I mean. So they are troubled. They are prisoners. But then they turn up into one of the greatest warriors of David. That's another storyline. But the point is, David was protecting all the villagers from one corner to the other corner. So the enemy knows how good David was. Enemy knows that David was really good at war, and they become more afraid now, because now that David becomes king, now the whole Israel army is behind him. Dulu aja waktu belum jadi raja, back when he was not a king, itu aja udah jago. Dan sekarang jadi raja with a military power behind him, can you imagine how nervous all the enemies are? And that is why the Philistine wants to get David as soon as possible. That's why under verse 8 dikatakan, back when David heard about all of that, dia nggak takut. Dia maju menghadapi mereka. He comes forward and he's ready to fight them. But then the Philistines keep coming and they are ready to attack. And then look at verse 10. It says, bertanyalah Daud kepada Allah. Then David comes to God and asks him, what do I have to do? Ya kan? And will you give them away to me? Akankah kau serahkan mereka ke dalam tanganku? And that is a little point that we can learn, people. I believe David has had a lot of victories under his hand. He knows how to fight. He knows how to, survive in a war. So this is not something new for him. And yet, he still comes to God, asking him, what is it that I have to do? A lot of times we take things for granted, especially for the things that we have been, we have known to we know that we always do it routinely. Like for instance, back in my first serving when I was kayak angel worship leading, I remember when I first time leading, I prepare everything so deep, like I wrote all the songs, I wrote all the arrangement, I prepare my prayers. I got nervous, but then I prepare, like I fast I asked Jesus what song should I sing and everything. But now, after many years of worship leading and singing, it becomes routine, and now we are no longer asking God what to do. And that is the kind of habit that must be fixed, and we cannot take things for granted. So if there's anything that we learned during this corona pandemic, is that we cannot take things for granted, especially for the things that we always do just because, you know. Dan that's not the case with David. Daud, meskipun udah sering berperang, tetapi dia tetap bertanya kepada Tuhan, apa yang harus kulakukan? And this time Tuhan bilang apa? Tuhan bilang, maju. You're gonna win, I'm gonna give them to you. So, jadi David comes forward and dia berperang against Philistine. And tiba-tiba lihat ayat 11, dia bilang, lalu majulah ia ke Baal Perazim. Baal Perazim, ya. I want you to remember that name, Baal Perazim. Dan Daud memukul kalah mereka di sana. Daud won the war, and the Philistine got beaten, and you know, victory for David. Now, my question is that the first victory he ever had with God? No. Itu bukan kemenangan pertama Daud. David has had so many victories beforehand. Dia udah pernah menang. Like, dia udah mengalami so many victories with God. Tetapi, look at what he say here. Ayat 11. Dia bilang, Allah telah menerobos musuhku dengan perantaranku seperti air menerobos. So the victory is normal, but what David says is what I want you to look at carefully. Now, of all the victory that David has had with God, never ever he say it like this. Dia nggak pernah ngomong bahwa Allahku menerobos seperti air menerobos. So I don't know what happened there, but whatever David saw, that victory felt a bit more special than the rest. And I believe whatever David saw, it must have been something that he never saw before. Pasti luar biasa sekali. Sebegitu luar biasanya, sampai Daud ngomong, Allahku menerobos seperti air menerobos. And that is the kind of breakthrough that God gives to David. And I believe that is the same kind of breakthrough that God is going to give to each and every one of us. Jadi, breakthrough itu bukan cuma a simple good news or a simple little things. It's good. I think we have to be grateful to all those beautiful little things in our life. But when it comes to breakthrough, I'm not talking about those little things. I'm talking about all the things in your life that make you gasp, make you feel like, wow, seperti air menerobos, just like a water breakthrough. Now, let me ask you something. Pernah nggak, have any of you mengalami peristiwa di mana you feel like air menerobos dirimu? Like, have you ever had a situation where you feel like being hit by water? I think if you have, chances are you won't be here with us. Kenapa? Karena if you ever hit by water, bukan cuma air yang like splash or just like a little water, but seperti air menerobos. It's like a water breaking through. Now, I'm talking about a big power here. I'm talking about like a tsunami things. Like air menerobos yang bukan cuma banjir kecil, bukan cuma a little flood, tapi a big flood, a big tsunami, a big power. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like that big of a power. And that is the kind of breakthrough yang Tuhan beri kepada kita. Breakthrough yang permanent, karena everything after tsunami, things shall never be the same again. Jadi, it's very big, it's very serious, it's very impactful, it's obvious, it makes you lose for words. And even when you want to testify, you just can't help but to express your gratitude, your surprise, your everything, because what you're witnessing right now is something that no other power can do but God Himself. And that is the kind of breakthrough that I'm talking about. Not a little breakthrough, not a little snippets like one good small things, but it's a very, very significant, important thing. And I really want that to happen to all of you. But it can only happen if you ask for God and if you really, really want it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what happened to David. Of all his previous victories, this one felt a bit more special. Because whatever he witnessed, the way God beat the Philistines makes David like realize this kind of victory only can come from God. Because when he makes it happen like a water breaking through. And I want that. I want something to happen where no one can argue about it, where no one can doubt it, and all eyes who look and witness it, they know it's coming from God. And that is the kind of breakthrough that we want to look at. And it is so significant for David. Apparently, he actually named the place Baal Perazim. Now, Baal Perazim is a word from Hebrew, and the translation means God who breaks through. Jadi Baal Perazim artinya God who breaks through. Itulah the meaning of it all. God who breaks through. And that's why he called it Baal Perazim. Again, he didn't name all the previous places where he won the war. He didn't name them Baal Perazim. But for this particular spot, particular victory, he called it Baal Perazim. As a reminder that when he had this victory at this very place, the Lord breaks through like a water breaks through. And teman-teman, aku berdoa, I pray, so that in the future, or maybe you've had it, I pray so that each and every one of you have your own Baal Perazim, if you know what I mean. I hope each and every one of you have your own place, have your own, your own place where you can call it Baal Perazim. Maksudnya begini, I hope that whenever you see your marriage again, whenever you look back and see your marriage, you can call your marriage your Baal Perazim. Because that marriage is not going to happen without the Lord, isn't it? Kalau Tuhan tidak campur tangan, then that marriage will fall apart, will break down, we're going to go separate ways. But because of the Lord breaks through our marriage, He makes great things upon us. And ever since then, every time I look at our marriage, that is my Baal Perazim. Another example, I hope your future children can become your Baal Perazim, so that every time you look at him or look at her, you know that it's a God-given child, that you know what this child is against what everyone said about it. Like people say it's not gonna happen. People might say it's bad timing. People say A, B, C, and D. But you know, I have friends who I don't know. Tapi anak KPA maybe no. Back in Sydney, I have this friend Monique. I don't know. I have a friend named Monique. Yeah, and dia she was married. She got married back in 2008, but he didn't have she didn't have her first son until 4 or 5 years later, because she was having a trouble with her hormone, so she was under medication and everything. But the thing is, from the very beginning, he testified and she shared with us her journey. So she spoke about her struggle. She spoke about her small chance of having a children of her own because of her hormonal imbalance. Apparently, it's quite acute back then. So yeah, but she just keeps testifying. She just keeps asking for support, and we were involved in that story. We were praying for her, for her husband as well. And I don't know when was that exactly, but I remember that one day she came to our meeting, and she stood up and she just spoke right away. She said, "Guys, I'm not gonna make it long. I'm just gonna cut it short. I'm pregnant." And when she said that, everyone was just jumping in joy and cried. Actually, some of us were crying because because it was so unlikely to have for that to happen. It was so unlikely. She went through so many medication, and I think she was on the verge of giving it up, but the Lord who breaks through came upon her family. And now, I think 8-10 years later, not only she has one, she has two beautiful sons. And I know that her children is her Baal Perazim. In a way that whenever she looks at them, she knows that it's God's doing. Not anyone, not her husband, it's God's doing. So I pray that may in this new year, in this new decade, you can have your own Baal Perazim. When you see your work, when you see your company succeed, you know that it's not because of you, but it's because of the Lord who breaks through. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know it can happen for those of you who believe it. Right? So yeah, the first point is very important, that our Lord is the God of breakthrough. I'm gonna leave this point with one more verse. Kita lihat Micah. Micah itu apa? Micah. Micah itu di perjanjian Old Testament, ya. Micah. Let me see. Micah 2 ayat 12 dan 13. Micah 2 ayat 12-13, verse 12 and 13. Well, the important one is that is number 13, but it's only 2 verses anyway. So let's just read it all. Calvin, if you would, please.
I will gather you, Jacob, each and every one. I will assemble all the remnant of Israel. I will group them like a flock in the fold, like a herd in its pasture. The noise of the people will resound. The one who makes a bridge goes up before them. They make a bridge and pass through the gate. Their king shall go through before them, the Lord at their head.
Okay. There's another translation that says a different thing, but it's equally important. Perhatikan, lihat ayat 13-nya. Dia bilang, penerobos akan maju di depan mereka. Well, terjemahan lain bilang, the breaker is gonna walk in front of them. The breaker, penerobos. Jadi teman-teman, imagine it's like this, like breakthrough can happen because we're not the one who breaks it. It's the Lord himself who breaks it. Our part is to walk behind him, to walk with him, so that when the wall is broken, all we have to do is just walk through. Now, ini I need you to use your imagination, to use your visualization skill, because it is what it is. Like, that is what breakthrough is all about. Whenever you want a breakthrough, you don't do it yourself. God will do it for you. How He's gonna do it? Well, lihat ayat 12-nya. Dia bilang, dengan sungguh-sungguh aku akan mengumpulkan engkau. Dengan sungguh-sungguh aku akan menghimpunkan, gather sisa orang Israel. Aku akan menyatukannya seperti kambing domba dan sekian-sekian. Coba garis bawahi, Mark, mengumpulkan, menghimpunkan, menyatukan. What does it mean? Gather, unite, collect, whatever. Berarti apa? The first thing that God will do to us whenever He's about to make a breakthrough in our life, it must have something to do with gathering, connecting, collecting, ya, uniting. Artinya apa? Artinya we are being positioned. Kita diposisikan di suatu spot di mana Allah akan membuat breakthrough, and all we have to do just come right behind Him and walk through with Him. And it is a beautiful illustration because imagine there's a big long wall in front of us, and we keep wanting to go to the other side of the wall, right? Because what separates us between us now and our next breakthrough point is that there's this wall standing between us, and we keep trying to break it, but it's never happened because we always try to break it with our own strength and our own mighty. But the Lord say, you can never break it with your own strength. I'm the one who's gonna break the wall. Jadi jarak antara kita dengan titik glory berikutnya, the next victory point, itu cuma dibatasi oleh tembok. Tembok itu bisa bermacam-macam bentuknya. I'm talking in illustration right now. Jadi nggak benar-benar tembok, but I'm talking in illustration. Jadi this wall has been the divider between us and what we could have. And we want to go and break it through, but we just can't. Karena kekuatan kita limited. But then on this verse, Tuhan bilang, you know what? I'll help you. I'm gonna make it happen. But first, I'm gonna collect you. I'm gonna put you right where you're supposed to be. I'm gonna position you. I want you to remember to get that word, people. Position. Posisi. Ditempatkan. So we are being positioned in a very specific spot so that this is where God wants to break the wall. It's a long wall. And if you are not standing in the right spot, you might miss the chance. You know what I mean? Jadi, bayangkan seperti itu. Jadi, when God wants to make a breakthrough in you, kamu akan ditempatkan di sebuah posisi kehidupan. Maybe itu terjemahan Indonesianya. Dan, when you are being positioned, just get ready. Things gonna happen, it will happen. Nah, I believe dengan corona pandemic ini, we are being positioned, right? Dengan corona ini, kita diposisikan. Ada yang orang sekarang working from home, ada yang sekarang orang harus, social distancing. Ada orang yang, there are some people who got affected by this pandemic heavily. There are some people who don't get affected heavily by this corona. Life just walk as normal. Ada orang yang, life just never be the same again. Jadi, I believe this whole pandemic memposisikan kita di tempat di mana Tuhan mau kita berada so that He can start breaking the wall and that we are ready to walk through with Him. And what's beautiful is that dia bilang the breaker will walk in front of them. Tuhan akan berjalan di depan kita. He's gonna be the one who breaks the wall, and the decision whether you want to walk it through or not, it's yours. Lengkap kira-kira? Aku ulang lagi ya. God will break the wall. But whether you wanted to walk it through or not, it's all up to you. Meaning, the opportunity will be given to you. But if you want to take it or not, it's all up to you. Dan itulah really my prayer to all of you tonight. So that mungkin ada di 70 something people ini yang maybe sekarang they feel like they are being positioned in a place where they don't want to be. Mereka harus spend so much money. They have to, they have to lose a lot of things. They have to change the way they live their life and everything. But it's a good thing to happen because now our faith teaches us it's God's doing. Tuhan izinkan supaya kita ditempatkan di satu posisi. Maybe selama ini we haven't been in that position before. But now this new position will allow us to experience the breakthrough that God has planned for each and every one of us. Ya, jangan takut. You are not walking alone. God is with you. Karena ayat berkata, penerobos akan maju di depan mereka. And all we need to do, cuman walk it through, berjalan, melewati pintu gerbang, and we will get out of the wall. And jangan lupa, ayat Indonesia bilang, raja mereka akan berjalan terus di depan mereka. And God will become the leader, will become the head in our life. Jadi, from one breakthrough to another. Just because we have one breakthrough, it doesn't mean God is finished with us. There's still more. Ingat, ayat lain berkata begini, kamu akan tetap naik jadi kepala dan bukan ekor. Ada yang tahu ayat itu? Remember? Pernah baca bahwa, Ulangan 28:13 bilang, you will going up, you will continue to go up, you will become head, not tail. Nah, teman-teman, surely the journey from tail to head is not a one straight journey. There must be a step-by-step journey, right? Dari tail, like an animal, like from tail to the back, and then to the hunchback, and then to the neck, and then it's like a step-by-step journey. You don't go straight from tail to head. Ada stepnya. And I believe from one step to another, we need a breakthrough. And I believe that is how we are going to get to the top. By the lead from the Lord Himself. Jadi itu kira-kira yang aku mau kalian dapatkan, bahwa you can dream about breakthrough, but the Lord is the one who has it all. Kalau Dia bilang belum waktunya, belum waktunya, right? So what can we do? Now we know that God is the God of breakthrough. What can we do? Should we just sit down and do nothing and just wait until it happens? Like, so we just say, okay, God, put me whenever you want me to be at, and have it your way, Jesus. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna live my day normal and do nothing. Is that how we want to respond? Of course not. Generally, well, because our God is the God of breakthrough, then it is only makes sense that this whole Bible is filled with stories of breakthrough people, Jadi karena Allah kita adalah Allah yang breakthrough, adalah hal yang layak, yang normal. Kalau justru this whole book banyak stories about people having breakthrough in their life, right? Dan if you read those stories one by one, maka you will find one big common thread. Is that first, they don't create the breakthrough, they don't make it happen. God made it. Tapi yang paling penting adalah generally breakthrough happens when you seek it. Ya, pada umumnya breakthrough terjadi when we seek it, when we mencari. Ketika kita mencari breakthrough, that's when breakthrough generally happen. Jadi God's part is to make it happen. Our part is to start seek for it, mencarinya. It's okay to mencari. It's okay to seek for breakthrough. Apa artinya seeking breakthrough? Seeking breakthrough artinya we prepare ourselves. Kita mempersiapkan diri kita. So that when breakthrough happens, we don't miss the chance. We don't miss the opportunity, and we grab every opportunity, and yeah, the rest is up to God. Jadi, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to tell you. Okay, ambil contoh lain begini. I have a friend back in Sydney. I think she already went for good. Well, of course she has. Dia di Indonesia, she's starting a business in wedding decoration. I don't know, maybe some of you udah pernah dengar nama dia. Jadi dia she works in a wedding decoration field, and she got taste. Very beautiful designer. I know from the young age she's very, very good artist. And I can see that now she becomes more and more popular. People are starting to use her service, but she's not there yet. Compared to all the big names up there, she's still need to compete. She still have a long way to go. One day I had a catch up with her, and one thing that I never ever forget from our conversation was, she told me that one day, Koroy, all those big names in wedding decor, like A, B, C, D. I'm not gonna name names. Yeah, all of those big vendors in decorators, yang 500 juta minimal, yang like 1 million, 1 M ke atas, everything dekorasinya gila-gilaan. All those people, in the end, eventually, their time will come. One day, roda akan berputar, and there will be time for the new generation to come. And that's what she believed in. And all that she said to me was, Koroy, I cannot predict when that will happen. I don't know when it will happen, but I know it will happen. And all I can do was to prepare myself so that when that moment comes, I'm ready. I don't miss the boat, and I don't miss anything. I'm ready. Bring it on. And that kind of attitude is what gonna make you and me go far in life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is that we cannot create the moment, but we can prepare for the moment. A lot of people have missed the opportunity because when the moment comes, they're just not ready for it. It happened to us a couple of times, and I don't want to go to another lesson. Definitely, I think opportunity is one of the important lesson to pair with this material in the next time. But yeah, never miss the opportunity, because what we can do is to prepare and to keep seeking for that opportunity to come. And that's what we are going to do. So now, because of timing, I'm not gonna dissect one by one in detail what can we do to seek breakthrough, all right? But I'm just gonna go point by point, and I'm just gonna use an example in the Bible, because as I said, the Bible is filled with great story of breakthrough. Yeah. So number one, what can I do? What should I do for having a breakthrough, for preparing that breakthrough moment? Number one is very simple and yet very hard to do. By praying and fasting. If you really want it, you're going to show to God by praying and fasting. If you really want a breakthrough in your life, you're going to show your commitment by praying and fasting. Not just by saying it out loud, but by praying and fasting. It's a very simple thing, yet somehow we never do it wholeheartedly. If you look at the Bible examples, a lot of breakthrough happen because they pray and because they fast. Two examples that I can pull out: a lady named Esther. You know Esther? Esther, yeah. Esther. She was a refugee back when Israel was colonized by the Babylonians. So Esther was moved to a foreign country, and her and her uncle Mordecai, they lived in a foreign country. I forgot what it was exactly, but what happened was the queen of that country got expelled. You can read it in Esther 1. The king wants a new queen, so he held a beauty pageant, Miss Persia. That's what I call, yeah, a beauty pageant to choose one winner who's gonna become the replacement queen, replacing the current queen. Esther, long story short, Esther got chosen. And remember, Esther bukan orang lokal. She's not a local. She was a foreigner. Dia adalah refugee. Tapi bayangkan, a refugee menang beauty pageant, jadi queen di Persia. I believe some of you already know that story. Tapi what happened next was ada this guy named Haman. Haman dia adalah the head army of the kingdom. Jadi generalnya. And Haman ini was very sombong, very prideful. Everyone, whenever he walk, he expect people to bow down before him. So everyone did bow down except Mordecai. So Haman got so infuriated with Mordecai behavior. So he got so angry and he planned to kill and to banish all the Jews in that kingdom. Just because Mordecai didn't want to bow down, Haman decided to punish all the Jews. So the first genocide was not planned by Hitler. Back in the Bible, the first genocide was planned by someone named Haman. Haman planned the first genocide ever. Mordecai heard about this plan, and then he got concerned, of course. Jadi dia datang ke Esther. He came to Esther. I don't open the Bible because it's too long, but you can read it in Esther 4. Yeah, Esther 4. Tulis aja in your note. Esther 4 talking about the conversation between Mordecai and Esther through a messenger. Why messenger? Because Esther udah jadi ratu dan Mordecai nggak bisa ketemu ratu sembarangan. So Mordecai kasih message ke messenger, tell Esther to help her people because her people is gonna get killed. And then Esther told Mordecai, I cannot do anything. Although I'm a queen, I can't meet the king just up to me. Only if I got summoned, then I can meet the king. If not, then my head is going to be chopped off. So Mordecai replied back to her. I don't know how to say it in English, but in Indonesia, it's so much deeper. Mordecai basically warned Esther. He said that, don't think just because you're a queen, you're going to be safe. If you're not help us, someone else will. But if you help us, you never know what God has in plan for you. Basically, that's what Mordecai said. And the same thing I want to tell you, that it's the same formula, it's the same law applied to us. But you know what? I'm not going to go into detail about that. It's going to be another long night. But yeah, so when Esther was warned by Mordecai, she listened to him, and then she asked him and all the people of Israelite to fast 3 days, 3 nights, no food, no drink. I think it's 4 or 3, but yeah, around that time. 3 days and 3 nights, no eating and no drinking, and praying. All Esther did was asking the king to have a dinner with her and Haman. Long story short, because of the power of prayer and fasting, the dinner happened, and then Esther told the king all the plan that Haman has for her people. Now, if you read the Bible carefully, ini aneh, it's strange because Esther itu orang asing. Although she's a queen, tapi dia foreigner. Dan dia ambil resiko, she took a risk speaking to the king about Haman yang waktu itu belum ketahuan rencananya apa. He hasn't killed anyone. Ini baru rencana dia doang, just a pure plan. And then she spoke to the king about his own people. In general, we would have thought that the king will defend Haman more than his queen. Because as we know it all, ratu sebelumnya gampang dibuang, gampang digantikan, replaceable. So if the king is not happy with what Esther say, then she can replace her anytime. But magic happened. The miracle happens here. The king listened to what Esther say. And not only listened, he believed what Esther said. Then Haman got punished, killed, and guess who replaced him? Mordecai replaced Haman. So in that kingdom, the queen and the general are the people who are even not from the local kingdom, foreigner. It's a breakthrough moment for Esther and Mordecai and for the Israel in general. And why does that happen? Karena not because Esther is smart, but because ada kuasa. There's a power, the prayer and fasting. Get that? Yeah. Another example, I don't have a lot of time, tapi Nehemiah itu pun juga luar biasa. Yeah, basically he fast for 4 months. 4 months. Yeah. Because he has this desire to build back the wall of Jerusalem. He's not an architect. He's just well, in the Bible, he's a drink juru minuman atau juru minuman. So it's like his job is to test all the drink before God serves to the king, in case they are poisoned. So that's his job. He's not an architect. He doesn't even know how to build a cage. But behind him, there's God who breaks through. Long story short, he's praying, he's fasting, and by the mercy of the Lord, he got permission from the king. Not only permission, he got support from the king. Material, army, horses, even a legal paper to cross from boundary to another boundary, from one town to another. Because the journey from where Nehemiah come from back to Jerusalem takes time. So in case someone doesn't accept him, he can just give the letter stating that the king allowed him to do. So God protects Nehemiah. And long story short, the wall got built, and it's a breakthrough moment for Israel, who just got back from dari pembuangan. So it's a very, very beautiful story. So breakthrough happen when we pray and when we fast. Now I'm not gonna go into detail. Ini udah pelajaran a different session. But if you can write down in your note, just write it down like this. When I pray, I should worry about nothing. Yeah, worry about nothing. Worry about nothing. I should pray about everything. Again, I repeat, when I pray, I should worry about nothing, pray about everything, and be grateful in all things. Worry about nothing, it doesn't mean that we cannot experience worry. Ketakutan, I guess, is manusiawi. Tapi what you do with that ketakutan, that becomes the problem. Yeah. So worry about nothing. 2, pray about everything. Filipi 4 berkata, berdoalah dalam segala hal, dia bilang, ya kan? So pray about everything. Dan yang ketiga, be grateful in all things. Be grateful. Yeah, be grateful. Jadi that is how you start your journey of having breakthrough. Prayer and fasting. I don't have time to talk about fasting in particular, but fasting is very important. Fasting will only have meaning if you go along it with prayer. If you fast without prayer, it's called diet. Yeah, so you have to fast and pray. So it's they work parallel one to another. All right, the next one. If I keep praying and keep fasting, that means I prepare myself internally. What then I should next? What then I should do next? The next thing you can anticipate is that one day or one time, God will put you into a situation where you have to have a difficult, tough, out of comfort kind of conversation. I repeat. When you have prayed and when you have, fasting and God said good, the next thing, He might put you and I into a situation di mana we have to communicate and we have to talk with people atau about topic atau under circumstances, whatever, yang kita nggak nyaman, tough, strange, rather uncomfortable, but we have to go through it because that conversation is important. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then in my lesson, I call this breaking conversation. Yeah. So in order to have a breakthrough, sometimes you and I, we will have a breakthrough conversation. Breakthrough conversation. So what is breakthrough conversation? Teman-teman, sadar nggak sadar kalau kalian lihat Alkitab, setiap kali miracle happen, before miracle, as far as I can remember, there is no miracle that just happened by itself. Just like that, and that happened. No. Every miracle comes before that, pasti ada a degree of communication, either pada zaman Yesus or in the Old Testament. There must be some sort of communication or conversation happen. A communication yang tough, yang nggak menyenangkan, yang nggak ngenakin, yang very unpleasing. Tapi it's very important for us to have, because if we able to manage to go through that talk, then we are set even better to have a greater breakthrough in the future. Do you realize that? Jadi a breakthrough conversation, it's very important. Aku ambil contoh begini. Do you remember the conversation between Jesus and Samaritan woman on the well? I think it's John 4, Yohanes 4. Waktu itu Yesus berkata bahwa aku haus, I'm thirsty. Dan kemudian lewatlah seorang perempuan Samaria, Samaritan woman, and then she said, well, I don't have any water. I think she gave him water and everything, and then Jesus and the woman, they got into themselves a conversation. If you read John 4, let's open this John 4. I think we still have time. Coba lihat Yohanes 4 ini. I want to highlight a particular point here. Coba kita lihat Yohanes 4, ya, John 4. Kelvin coba baca ayat yang ke 15, 16. Ya, 15, 16.
The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water, so that I may not be thirsty or have to keep coming here to draw water." Jesus said to her, "Go, call your husband and come back."
Jadi tiba-tiba Jesus ngomong, "Okay, I'll give you the water." So this is like in the middle of the conversation, ya, people. And if you read it, maka Jesus tiba-tiba ngomong. Suddenly he say, "Okay, call your husband, then we'll talk." Now, perikop ini bisa berakhir di ayat 16. It can very well end on the verse 16. Meaning what? Meaning the woman bisa aja begini. Bisa aja tiba-tiba kemudian ayat 17, kemudian pergilah perempuan itu dan tidak kembali lagi. Karena dia malu. You know what I'm saying? Kenapa? Karena Jesus bilang, "Go, get me your husband." Dan kalau Anda baca 17-nya, lihat, apa jawab perempuan tersebut? What did she say? Coba ayat 17-nya, Kelvin.
The woman answered and said to him, "I do not have a husband." Jesus answered her, "You are right in saying, I do not have a husband."
Yeah. Jadi perempuan itu bilang, she admit to Jesus bahwa I don't have a husband. Now, for someone yang baru ketemu, for someone who just met on the well, tiba-tiba ditanya, go get me your husband. Not everyone can be as open as that Samaritan woman. You know what I'm saying? Bayangkan now I just met with someone like I don't know maybe Ines lah, Ines. Yeah, we know each other for a while. But let's say me and Ines, we just know like we just met in CFJ, and then I suddenly ask her about personal opinion, like have you got boyfriend, or have you got like that's still okay. But then sometimes I can ask her something very deep and something very personal, you know. Not all people can go into that kind of talk, you know. And not all people is ready for that kind of talk, especially on the first meeting. You know what I'm saying? Ya kan? That kind of talk is very, 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 very private and personal. But you know what? This moment, kalau Anda baca lagi, Jesus say, yeah, you don't have a husband. Because guess what? Kamu udah tinggal bersama 5 suami, ya. You already have 5 husbands. And the one who live with you right now is not even your husband. So, Jesus know already. He only challenged this woman. And this woman say, I don't have any husband. And Jesus say, correct, you don't have one. Because you know what? Not only you don't have one, you already married 5 times. Jadi this woman udah Samaritan, you know, mereka kelas kedua, second class. Lalu kemudian back then, lalu kemudian she's a woman, back then woman also second class. Lalu kemudian not only she's a woman, not only she's a Samaritan, tapi dia juga a widow. And bukan cuma widow dari one husband, widow dari 5 husband. Aku mau tanya teman-teman, let me ask you one thing. Kira-kira kalau kamu ketemu orang dengan background seperti ini, kira-kira bakal minder nggak orangnya? Chances are this woman will be a very, very shy woman, very introvert, very, you know, very, very insecure woman. Karena she has nothing to be proud of with her life, you know. And the society is judging her because for a lot of reason. Jadi dia can be someone yang very, very insecure dan sangat tidak mau terbuka psychology wise. You know what I'm saying? Dan tiba-tiba Tuhan bilang, go get me your husband. Perempuan ini could very well running away abis itu. She never come back and then she just gone and then the story ends there, right? Tapi no, this woman is willing to have a breakthrough conversation with Jesus. Dengan apa? Dia admit, I don't have a husband. And Jesus say, you are correct. Dengan kata lain, Jesus admire dia punya vulnerability. Jesus admire dia punya openness. Dan dia punya keberanian, dia punya bravery untuk be honest dan tell Jesus bahwa dia nggak punya suami. Although Jesus already know beforehand. Long story short, kalau Anda baca the whole pericope, the whole story, maka ayat 25, the conversation got deeper and deeper. And see the rewards. I want you to really pay attention to this point next. Kalau Anda lihat ayat 25-26-nya, ya, coba 25, Calvin, can you read it for me, please?
The woman said to him, I know that the Messiah is coming, the one called the Anointed. When he comes, he will tell us everything.
Anda lihat 26-nya, 2-3.
Jesus said to her, I am he, the one who is speaking with you.
Anda lihat, coba. This is amazing. Tiba-tiba, suddenly, the woman talked to him, Jesus, I know that Messiah will come. Yang disebut juga Christ. Now, remind me again. Woman ini bukan Jewish. Dia Samaritan. Orang kelas kedua. Kawin campur. Bangsa buangan. Tapi bangsa buangan, dia bisa tahu that Messiah is gonna come one day. That the great Messiah is gonna come one day. Tolong perhatikan, ini masih John 4. So it's still very early in Jesus ministry. Tetapi lihat ayat 26, what did Jesus say? Jesus told her, I am he Akulah dia. I am that Messiah who you are looking for and you are waiting for. Nah, teman-teman, if you read it normally, saya cuma asal lewat ya. Tapi kalau you understand the whole circumstances, this is such a big revelation from Jesus to the woman herself. Kenapa? Karena Jesus even haven't told his disciple bahwa dia akan dikorbankan. He hasn't told them that. He hasn't told any of it. The secret hasn't come out yet. Tetapi with Samaritan woman, Jesus willingly to give his biggest secret bahwa dia adalah the Messiah. For that Samaritan woman, jadi ternyata teman-teman, the first person who knows that Jesus is the Messiah bukan ahli Farisi, orang Saduki or the disciples, tapi ternyata an unnamed woman from Samaria, you know, and it's just amazing. Itu kayak really a big secret revealing. And the woman felt something. She got really joyful. Her life was never be the same again. Karena now she knows that the Messiah is here and gonna save and gonna, you know, fulfill all the prophecies yang ada di sebelum-sebelumnya. Dan kalau kamu, if you keep reading the Bible, maka kalau kamu baca verse 39, coba Kelvin baca 39-nya. 2, 3.
Sorry, just a moment.
Yeah,
many of the Samaritans of that town began to believe in him because of the word of the woman who testified, "He told me everything I have done."
From a word of a woman, a lot of Samaritan menjadi percaya. Isn't it amazing? So the first Christian really itu bukan dari bangsa pilihan, dari bangsa Samaritan. They are having a big major spiritual breakthrough. And that happened. Why? Jesus has no plan of telling the woman. Tapi I believe, teman-teman, sincerely I believe. Karena the woman honest to God, willingly to be vulnerable to God. Having that breakthrough conversation is important. Nah, teman-teman, itu kan sama Tuhan. Sama kita gimana? One day you will have a tough you will have a tough conversation with your father. One day he will speak to you that he's no longer able to work, that you have to be ready to take all the place as the leader of the company, of the family, that one day you won't be able to live like this anymore. You have to be able to be independent on yourself. One day, or maybe you will have a breakthrough conversation where you have to apologize and sincerely own it, own your mistake, own your part, and forgive and try to forget. Those are the kind of breakthrough conversation, and conversation that is sometimes it doesn't have to be spectacular, sometimes can be casual, but it's very important for you to have it with them. And if you have it, I believe life will never be the same again. I actually have it with my father on last Christmas. So as we open the present, well, for those of you who doesn't know my story, me and my father, we didn't get along very well. Yeah. So back since I was a kid, I got close with my mom more than my father. My father is a very stoic person, and because I believe maybe it's got something to do with the fact that he was raised in a boarding school, so he doesn't know how to become father. So he just looking for money. He just providing us with money, but he never really was there as a father. But I also believe it's not all in his mistake. I believe I play a part too. Well, basically we didn't get along well, and ever since we know Jesus, me and him, we grow in faith. Things got better, but not really there. You know what I mean? Like yeah, we got some kind of understanding. We love each other. We care each other just because the Bible told us to do. But I believe until last Christmas, me and him we sat down on the couch, and for whatever reason, we were such in a good timing, good mood, good situation. I usually cannot speak with him with a good tone. I always speak with him in a very, very rushing tone. I always speak in a high tone with him because he got under my skin quite easily. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So cepat gitu ngomong. Jadi it doesn't take long. It just take me like 2 or 3 sentences from him, and then bam, we go to the next level. And it's just so hard for me because I feel like he doesn't understand my point of view. I was frustrated with the way he explained himself all the time. So that's why it never ends well. But back at last Christmas, everything went so well. We got to talk for like 1.5 hours. We got to share our pain, our hurt to one another, in a very, very casual way, in a very loving manner. And I believe even until now, I never have a conversation with him that long in all my 30-something years of life with him. That was the longest talk I ever had with him. And ever since then, I felt like life never be the same again. Every time I talk with him now on the phone, I can hold a much longer conversation. I can feel it's getting warmer, and I believe it's a healing from me and from my dad's side too. So I believe that Christmas, more than the tangible presents that we give to one another, that conversation is one thing that I will never forget because it's filled with so many honesty. It's filled with love and the willingness for both of us to go through this talk, no matter how painful it is. So I believe that was seemingly insignificant, but for me it is very significant because because by having our relationship heals, now I can move forward, and now I can live my life without any more negative thinking when it comes to my father. I live more freely. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things. Okay, time. So in the last 5 minutes, what is it the next thing I should do when I seek for breakthrough? Well, to recap, first, pray and fast. 2, buckle up. You might have to be ready for a tough, uncomfortable situation where you have to speak and to communicate, and you cannot walk. Don't run away. Don't walk away. Just hang in there. Just be wise. Keep praying to God, and just hang in there, and you'll survive. The next one, what is it? I believe the next thing that we can do to prepare ourselves for a breakthrough to happen is by doing, I call it just do it. You know, I just write on your note, just do it. Whatever God tells you to do, just do it. Because I reflect this point based on the first miracle happened in the Bible. I believe one of the first major breakthrough in Jesus' time is back when Jesus went to the wedding in Cana. Remember that? Ya kan? Waktu Tuhan pergi ke perkawinan di Kana, salah satu breakthrough di mana air menjadi anggur, when water becomes wine. You know, back then bayangin tiba-tiba di weddingnya you know, siapa, all water berubah menjadi champagne. That was a miracle, right? And the miracle actually happened di ayat 5. I believe it was in I forgot perikopnya, tapi I think Yohanes 2. Ya, Yohanes 2. Kalau kamu lihat Yohanes 2, ya. Yuk, ayat terakhir, Yohanes 2 ayat yang ke-5. Coba Kelvin baca, Yohanes 2 ayat yang ke-5.
Yes.
Yuk.
John 2, verse 5. His mother said to the servers, do whatever he tells you.
Gampang, itu terjemahan satu. Another translation bilang begini, whatever he say, do it. Jadi you know all the story, right? Jadi they went to the wedding, to a wedding, and they found out that they're running out of wine, and Mother Mary asked to Jesus, "Can you do something?" And Jesus said, "No, I can't. My time has not come yet." But Mary then come to all the people in the kitchen, and he say to them, whatever he say, do it. And Nike, Nike, they add the word just in front of it. So it becomes just do it. And do you know that slogan, just do it, it is the second most expensive, most famous slogan in the world, just do it. So it's actually Bible inspired, And I believe that is our last topic of our last point of the night. Like when you pray and when you fast wholeheartedly, you will become more and more immersed in the spiritual realm of God. Yeah. So if you are in a closer relationship with God, you can hear his voice better. You can understand his favor better. And when you can hear him better, there will come a point where you feel like he asked you to do something that could be out of your comfort zone. An action that may be out of sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But you know, and you know, and you feel it, that you have to do this. My suggestion, just do it. Although you don't understand completely, just do it. But only if you are truly in relationship with God by your praying and your fasting. Remember, Mother Mary say, whatever he say, do it. She didn't say, just do it. Yeah. She didn't say, just do it. She say, whatever he say, do it. Jadi, jangan lupa, it's all about whatever God says. Now, the thing is, how can we hear or understand what God says? Well, you cannot hear anything until you pray and fast wholeheartedly. When you fast, when you pray, you will bring yourself closer to God, further away from the physical realm, more into spiritual realm. You still live in this world, but you are more connected to God and his wisdom and his voice. And when you are in that stage, you will hear some voice, like in a flash of second, that encourages you to do something. Maybe to forgive someone, or maybe to give money to some cause, or maybe to take a risk or something. But whatever it is, it's your own personal voice with Jesus. And when you hear it, my suggestion, saranku, lakukan saja. Kalau kamu di Indonesia kan, you know what? Kalau kamu dengar sesuatu di hati, and you know it's a strong voice, lakukan. Koroy, what if it's a mistake? What if I miss it and then I miss God? Well, you know what? If you miss God, kalau salah, don't worry. God will find you again. Okay? Like, surely right now, kalian bukan orang-orang yang tidak tahu firman. You know black and white of life. You know jangan membunuh. You know loving. You already know about the black and the white of life. So that is not, itu bukan isunya. The issue really in the gray area, in the middle. And that is the area where we need to learn making mistake, learn God's wisdom, learn how to fall down and get up again. And God says it's okay. So here is how breakthrough will happen. Ingat, ketika Tuhan minta Abram, when God asked Abram, to go out from his village, from his land, to a new land. Tuhan nggak bilang, what kind of land? Tuhan cuma bilang, get out and go. And Abram back then, he did get out and he did go. Waktu Allah bilang sama Nuh, remember Nuh, Noah, bangun bahtera, nggak bilang buat apa, Nuh, just do it. So whatever, kalau kamu baca di peristiwa-peristiwa Bible, every miracle, every major breakthrough, more or less involve these three things. Ada prayer, ada fasting, ada breakthrough conversation, ada important conversation, dan ada total obedient action. ada total obedient, bold obedient action. It's either all of this, one of this, or two of this. Tetapi selalu ada. Nah teman-teman, I really hope you can start praying and fasting. Itu yang pertama. That is the most important one. Do that. Oh, tapi yang pertama, you really have to want to have a breakthrough. Kalau enggak ya percuma. You're not gonna do it wholeheartedly. If you really want a breakthrough, really, really pray for it, and go fast for it, and then leave the rest to God. Dan hari ini kita belajar bahwa breakthrough is happening, breakthrough is real, tapi it's not happening by random chances. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about learning to believe in God's timing and preparing ourselves so that when it happens, we are ready to get the opportunity, and that when the wall breaks, all we have to do is just walk through it all. And that is how you get better from one point of life to another point of life until kita mencapai kepala. I guess that's all my point right now. Thank you very much for listening to me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Roy, for your teaching. I know I asked you to leave us with some discussion questions as we were intending to have small groups, but I'm gonna improvise a bit here now. I think this is a topic that a lot of us, especially in these very unusual circumstances, can really relate to, where this can be a pivot point for us to have a breakthrough. And so I would like to, if you don't mind, I know it's already Thursday in Sydney. It's way past midnight, but I don't want to rob the people of the opportunity to ask you maybe one or maximum two questions, if you don't mind. So I'll just open the floor. So if you have any question for Roy, maximum two questions, just unmute yourself and ask away.
Hello. Hi, yes, Roy, this is William. Thank you for your beautiful sharing. Actually, I would like to ask you about prayer and fasting itself. Because in Bible itself, there is several types of, some of people can have fasting shorter or longer. So what is the right, how we define the right fasting for us? Depends on the time or depends on type of fasting. What is the right type based on what? When we decide we do fasting for 1 week or 1 month or something else. Thank you.
Okay. If you read the Bible, ada bermacam-macam people fasting in a different way ya. Kayak Esther, dia fasting 3 hari atau 4 hari ya, tapi nggak makan nggak minum. And then Daniel 7 hari 7 malam. And then ada yang 40 hari seperti Jesus. Artinya apa? Artinya nggak ada aturan tepat fasting harus berapa lama dan bagaimana. Karena tujuan utama dari fasting, it's not about the time, it's not about the food. Tujuan dari fasting ialah to bring you closer to God. Jadi, I always have a principle like this. Make your own rule, obey your own rule. Gitu kira-kira. Ya, make your own rule, obey your own rule. Karena salah satu habit human ialah justification. Jadi, kita mungkin bisa tahan selama 3-4 hari pertama, but then like in KPA kita ada tim, ada puasa jam 1 sampai 9 malam, and then 9 malam sampai 1 siang gitu, the day after. I think itu termasuk gampang sih, ya. Kalau 1 until 9 until 1 makan sekali kenyang, itu tuh gampang sekali. And yet, I still can hear some people over the phone atau over group WhatsApp bilang gini, gue puasa nih jam 9 tapi belum makan. Gue puasa jam 9 tapi gue belum makan banyak, belum prepare. Lu mau nggak puasa jam 10? Jadi gue puasa jam 10, ntar gue mundurin jam 2. You know, like people kong kali kong begitu, people compromise, you know. I mean, even for that one, I mean, we're gladly doing it for whoever needs it. Tapi you don't get the point. The point is that we have committed from 9 to 1, 1 to 9. So whatever it doesn't really matter whether you forget or not. If you forget, that's even better. Berarti Tuhan makes you forget. That means the next 9 hours will be a very serious moment with God. Tapi that's not how people usually think. People think kayak, aduh, gue mesti makan nih, prepare ammunition for the next 9 hours so that I can live without eating. That's not the right idea about fasting. So I think you have to make your own rule and obey 100% your own rule. Because bukan soal the rule-nya, tapi it's all about saying no to your flesh. Fasting, it's all about saying no to your flesh. So that you are saying yes to the spirit. Itu doang kira-kira. Yeah, I can go into deeper about this, tapi I think answering your question itu yang paling penting.
Okay, thank you, Koroy.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Will, for the question. We have room for one more, just one more. All right, if no more question, Koroy, do you mind closing us with a prayer?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm still gonna leave you with question. Maybe you don't have to discuss it right now. Tapi I think just you can discuss it with your own group or your own friend maybe. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I really want you to get the point. Well, of course, I hope you get all the points hari ini. Jadi poin-poinnya kan ialah bahwa breakthrough is a sudden permanent change of event tapi important. Lalu juga breakthrough is happening and the one who makes it happen is our own God. That's our belief. And then our part is to prepare. We cannot create it, but we can prepare by praying, fasting, and then by doing a faithful action. But the one that I really want to get down to it is the breakthrough conversation part. Jadi I really want to leave you with this question, like have you ever had a tough conversation with someone that you have to go through it, and then after that things are actually getting much better and you just never be the same again for the better? Yeah, have you ever had a conversation with someone yang you don't like it, you didn't anticipate it, but you hang in there, and you felt like ever since then it's getting better, and you are getting better. So have you had any experience like that? You can share. And then maybe I can also follow up that same question with this. Do you have someone to whom you find it hard to speak with? Yeah. Do you have anyone in your life to whom you have a hard time to speak with? It can be a person, or it can be a certain type of people. Yeah, jadi you can share like, I don't know why, but I always have a hard time of building a relationship with a person like this, blah blah blah. Let alone conversation. Jadi it just or it can be a person. It can be your father, your mother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friend, your exes, your friends. I don't know. Yeah, tapi you just have to coba share. Yeah, and yeah, I think it's very important. Yeah, to really brace yourself for impact, because you just never know. Yeah, one day God will put you in that situation, but it's good. Kita cowok-cowok seringkali cuekin, seringkali adalah nggak penting. But guys, all the guys left in this room still, we have to be ready. We have to brace for impact, and we just have to ready for that kind of talk. We just have. I pray when that moment happen, God wisdom is be with you all. Yeah, itu kira-kira. Okay, I guess that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I think time was okay ya, 2 jam ya, normal. And then we're gonna close it off dengan prayer. Okay, yes, please. Yep. Mari tutup Alkitab kita dan catatan kita. Let us prepare our heart. Di nama Bapa dan Putra dan Roh Kudus. Amin. Father in heaven, thank you and thank you once again. I believe that everything happened for a reason. including tonight. Nothing is coincidental in you. For you are Alpha and Omega, you are the beginning and the end. Dan kami tahu Tuhan, we believe that even in this very moment, you are with us. Sekalipun kami tidak bertemu, although we are not meeting in one place, but I believe you are with us. And I believe that despite our limitation in everything, firman-Mu malam hari ini boleh menembus setiap hati yang mendengarnya. Biar firman-Mu, may it change people's heart, people's mind, so that we can have a better life, a more fruitful life, a life that is favored to you, Jesus. I believe Corona pandemic will be over, but the question remains the same. Are we becoming better, or are we becoming less of a person? Jangan sampai Tuhan, we miss the opportunity of what could have been possibly our one lifetime generation situation ini. Jangan sampai kami kehilangan kesempatan ini untuk berubah di masa-masa seperti ini. Biar kami boleh ambil waktu introspeksi lebih dalam lagi untuk tahu apa yang Tuhan mau dalam situasi ini buat hidup kami. Saya berdoa buat semua orang yang memerlukan breakthrough dalam hidupnya. For all of us who desire for a breakthrough happening, longing for one to happen in their life. Apapun itu. Biar kiranya Tuhan mulai bekerja dalam hidup mereka. Mulai hari ini. Biar kami boleh prepare ourselves dengan prayer dan fasting. Buckle ourselves for whatever comes next in our days. Kami percaya Tuhan, you are with us. Dan kami tidak akan ditinggalkan sendiri. I pray for all the people who need your love tonight. Biar kiranya terus you empower them to know that you are here with them and that you don't leave them alone. Terima kasih Tuhan buat pertemuan malam hari ini. Thank you for the technology. Thank you for the creativity. Thank you for the teamwork. Biar firman yang ditabur tidak pernah kembali kepadamu dengan sia-sia. Sungguh Tuhan, may you found fruits in our life. Terima kasih Tuhan, malam hari ini kalau kami mau beristirahat, biar kiranya Kau berikan kami ketenangan. So that tomorrow we can wake up dan kembali menjadi saksi Tuhan yang memuliakan Engkau dimanapun kami berada. Semua doa ini kami satukan di dalam satu nama yang ajaib. Tuhan kami Yesus Kristus yang bersatu dan berdaulat berkuasa dalam hidup kami. Sekarang sampai dengan selama-lamanya. Amin.